Welcome to the Ayurveda talk. We are getting started tonight and we have a practice to follow our talk, which is going to follow in line with what our talk is about. We are doing a talk on obesity and weight gain. What do you do when you've gained weight? So obesity means that you have excess weight up to and beyond 30 pounds. Okay, so if you've got that going on, that is excess weight. And you need to take steps to make sure that you start getting a handle on that. Because honestly, obesity is a problem only in countries that are affluent. So affluent countries are the ones that have obesity and excess weight issues. And it means that we're too sedentary. We have jobs where we're sitting too much. We are not exercising enough, and we are eating too much. So we have to look at really, it's quite simple. It's our diet and it's our lifestyle. And it doesn't support what is normal for our body. Our body, first of all, is meant to move. And honestly, we're not meant to eat that much. And you want to also look at when you're eating your meals and things like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about obesity and how Ayurveda deals with it. It's very similar to how a lot of Western approaches toward obesity. And so we want to look at the fact of what happens when you are obese and you have excess weight. Well, it's going to shorten your lifespan, and it will lead to other problems like diabetes and high blood pressure, and also hypertension, which leads to high blood pressure. And also there will be problems with arthritis possibly, and it does affect your libido. So excess weight affects your libido and your energy levels. So if you have a lot of weight, you're lugging that around, and that can make us pretty tired and exhausted. It makes people more melancholy and lethargic. And it also leads to unhappiness. So those are a lot of really good reasons to get a handle on your weight and your health. Spring is, like I said, the perfect time to make changes in your life because spring energy supports change. There's more stimulation. In fact, I worked with a couple of clients today, and they were saying, gosh, I've been really agitated lately. And I said, well, that's because there's more energy in the air. There's more stimulation going on. So a lot of the Vata Pitta individuals, people who are made up of ether and air, that's Vata. Pitta is more fire. So those individuals are feeling more agitated. And they're feeling agitated because there's more stimulation. It's like they've got ants in their pants. They need to move. They need to do things. Whereas people who are more Kapha, water and earth, they are not always experiencing spring in the same way. So you want to make sure that you get away from having a sedentary life. You start looking at the fact that this is a Kapha disorder as far as Ayurveda is concerned, and you want to increase your digestive fire. That means that you want to have a strong digestive fire. What does that mean actually in your body? It means you wake up, you're hungry. Lunchtime, you're hungry. Dinner time, you're hungry. You have a vivacious appetite. When you've got a Kapha disorder and you're dealing with obesity and excess weight, it oftentimes will lower your appetite. So a lot of those individuals don't even have an appetite, and they start skipping meals, which then affects our digestive fire. It lowers it, and then that affects your metabolism and lowers it. So we want to increase digestive fire. Get the fire going in the stomach. Get the Agni, which is your digestive fire, burning, so that you can have a nice strong appetite, which means you've got a nice strong metabolism. You want to also get rid of excess foods, no processed foods, all that kind of stuff. And really, you got to look at the fact that there's basic arithmetic here. Calories in, calories out. Are you burning the amount of calories that you're bringing in? And if there's an excess of calories that's coming in, you got to cut back on what you're eating. You got to lessen the amount of food that you're eating at one time. There's a lot of potential causes for obesity. There are hereditary issues like with the endocrine system and excess production of growth hormone. That's not always as common. If you're pregnant, sometimes that can lead to overeating, and then it's hard to lose the weight after you've had the baby. Stress can cause being overweight because it can cause emotional eating, so you get excess weight there. Snacking and munching between meals. In Ayurveda, we do not snack. We do not snack. And if we do snack, it's very small amounts, like an apple or a handful of raisins. That's it. Otherwise, I tell all of my clients, do not snack, because you want to have a strong digestive fire. And if you're snacking, you're affecting the digestive fire. Okay. Also, certain medications and drugs will affect your metabolism and cause weight gain. So a lot of the oral contraceptives will do it, and steroids will do that as well. Got to be careful with those. And you want to look at addictions like alcohol and cigarettes, marijuana, because a lot of people get the munchies when you are consuming those. And it's really, you want to basically do an overhaul of what am I doing, what am I eating, and where can I start cutting back. Habitual drinking of cold drinks. No cold drinks, no ice. I know I tell you guys this all the time. Absolutely no cold drinks. A lot of times people who are overweight, they absolutely hate hot drinks or warm drinks because they're running hot because they have excess weight. It is absolutely what they need though. No cold drinks, because cold will also slow down metabolism and lower your digestive fire. So you got to cut no cold drinks at all. Get away from that habit. No fried foods, no dairy products, and no excess sugar. And you want to also cut back on carbohydrates. Okay. If you're looking at carbohydrates, you want to look at the glycemic index, and you want to be on the low end of the glycemic index for carbohydrates. Watching your diet and going to a Kapha pacifying diet is necessary. So you can reach out to me if you need that. Like I said, minimize dairy, drink hot water instead of cold drinks. And you can add herbal teas such as ginger, mint, and cinnamon. If you do eat meat, you want to eat it very minimally, no more than once a month, and absolutely no beef, pork, or lamb. They are just too heavy and fatty. Okay, also making sure you get regular exercise. That's extremely important if you're dealing with kapha increase or excess. You want to do a more vigorous form of exercise, more stimulating exercise. And you also want to make sure you eat your biggest meal in the middle of the day. I tell everybody this. You do not skip meals. You eat your lighter meals at the first meal, and the last meal of the day you eat before 6 p.m. And if it's wintertime, you eat before it's dark. Okay. Biggest meal is in the middle of the day. That is when digestion is strongest. All right. Then you want to completely eliminate alcohol and tobacco. And it is recommended that when you do eat, that you sit down and you focus on eating. And that's it. You are not doing other activities at the same time. And you can also drink hot water with honey. If you start to become hungry, you drink a cup of hot water with a teaspoon of honey, 10 drops of lime. And what this does is it's a substitute for needing to snack. And it also is kapha reducing. So it's a way of melting fat. There are some herbal remedies out there for you. We are going to be doing yoga postures tonight that support excess weight and obesity. Breath exercises that you can do are the solar breath, which is you want to do right nostril breathing. It's called a solar breath. The other one is a lunar breath. That's going to cool down the body. We want to heat up, right? So solar breathing, that means you breathe in and out of the right nostril. The other breath that you can do is called the breath of fire because it increases the rate at which your body burns fat. So there's pranayama, breathing exercises that you can do that also will support removal of excess weight. Absolutely no napping during the day because napping will increase kapha in the body. It increases sedentary lifestyle. So no napping, okay? You want to nap at night or sleep at night. No napping during the day. Okay. The other thing you can do is when you are cooking your food, you want to increase more pungent, hot spices. Increase those types of spices. And that would be spices such as cumin, coriander, fennel, cardamom, ginger, cinnamon, and also garam masala. There's also a bunch of other ones that you can do. If you do have issues with indigestion or heartburn, you have to watch out for those pungent spices. So be careful, and you might want to be more on the coriander, cilantro, fennel side of things because those are more neutral and slightly cooling. Okay, do you have any questions on excess weight and obesity and how Ayurveda approaches it? Reach out to me and find out your personal plan on how to deal with it. And let's get started with our yoga practice to reduce excess weight and excess kapha in the body.